Today we're excited that we have the Mayor of Brookhaven, Georgia with us today. So Mayor John Park, thank you very much for joining us. We're excited to have you.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So quick rundown on Brookhaven. It's basically right north of downtown Atlanta. It's kind of on the left, we've got 400. On the south side is 85, and the north side is 285. And then east of it turns into Chamblee, pretty much, the whole thing. So that little section right there, it's pretty much known as one of the best locations to be able to get around and access everything in Atlanta, and then still has a residential feel. And 12 square miles, 58,000 people, so pretty big. And yeah, we're excited to just kind of go through what Brookhaven is working on and what your mission is. You've been mayor for a year now.
A year, yes.
Right. But
served on the council for 9 years before.
Yeah.
So this is not your first rodeo with the Brookhaven City Council then?
No.
Yeah.
I was, when I joined, I was the newest, and everyone was, pro-city. I was actually anti-city.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
And so we were kind of the rebellious district. We used to refer to our, overlords in District 1.
So now you're an overlord yourself, though.
I don't know if I want to use this.
So 9 years on city council. What made you say, "Hey, I want to get involved with city council and get started doing this stuff"?
Do you want the truth? Want the actual truth?
Yeah.
It was a drunken promise.
Nice.
That's awesome.
What happened was
You said this in a public place, by the way, too. You know that. Right?
It was like a bet, or was it like now I got to go do it?
Oh, so
was there
when we first became a city, most of our area, our district, all the precincts voted heavily against it. But it was a northern precincts that they had higher turnout, which in turn, cost Brookhaven. So they're unlike Sandy Springs or Dunwoody, which with huge majorities, it was a pretty slim margin. So they were still fighting this kind of the city fight, and we were not happy with the city. Me and my neighbor, we weren't happy with the they felt like they weren't doing well with proper permits. They wanted to develop everything. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against development.
Yeah,
but they were looking for everything to develop, and they were just wasting time on things like going after the really no good reason. And so we were sitting around. We're just, our council member who was part of the also resigned for one reason or another. And we were just sitting around at the tiki hut. One of my neighbors has a tiki hut in his backyard.
Yeah.
And we're just saying, pointing at each other, like, one of us should run. We could win. And I had no intention of winning.
How many drinks was this in, by the way?
I was 8 beers into my 12 beer.
8 beers into your 12-beer night. You decided to run for mayor, or you're
No.
Oh,
so we're all pointing at each other. You should run. No, you should run. No, you should run. Finally, someone just pointed at me. It's John. You run. I'll give you money. I just said, boy, if you'll give me money, I'll run. and then they all got excited. We were talking about it. And next morning I woke up. I said, called up Mike Lennon, the guy that hosted the tiki hut, top of the tiki hut. I said, Mike, did I promise to run for council? Because I had a vague memory of this. Yeah, you did. We already raised money for you. You already passed the hat. Everybody's pledged and everything. We got your big committee all set up and everything. You got to keep your drunken promises. Because if you don't keep your drunken promises, you know what that makes you? Alcoholic.
Oh. I was going to say a politician, but so Dave, this might be the best mayor story ever.
So you were on the council for 9 years. So that's 10 years ago.
So that's 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Is the tiki hut still in existence?
The tiki hut
is still
in existence. Yes, we do regularly go there on Friday nights. Although he's kind of took a break from COVID. He travels a lot, so we don't do as much.
How do you get an invite to this tiki hut place?
I just run into him on the street. He says, "Hey, you want to come to the tiki?" Sure.
Okay. So I just have to walk around Brookhaven until somebody invites me to.
There's just 12 square miles. You can just keep going.
Walk down Toby Road, and if you see a parrot out on the street, his name is Pete. That means tiki go. You can just go.
Okay.
Wow.
There you go.
Insider knowledge.
There?
Brookhaven.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So you do city council. You got 9 years doing all this stuff, but now you're pro city
Yeah.
ish, right?
Yeah, it's here.
So you
What else
spent
can we do?
9 years doing it.
I actually used to live in Dunwoody. And when Dunwoody became a city, I moved out. Because I didn't want to live in a city. I wanted to move to unincorporated DeKalb.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I moved to unincorporated DeKalb, and then we became a city again. I said,
You
I
can't run away
keep
from it.
moving.
Yeah.
You know,
When we look at different real estate deals, it's always like, okay, what do we have to go through to get anything done? It was always like, hey, unincorporated DeKalb was really quick because it was just this county was basically like, okay, let's see what we can do here. Whereas when you added in city layers, it got more complicated to go get anything done.
so you enjoyed the benign negligence of DeKalb County.
In some
fair.
cases, it helped a lot when we were like trying to renovate stuff.
Yes.
But so okay, so you leave Dunwoody, now you're in a new city,
Right.
and now you've decided, yeah, I'm gonna run for city council.
Right. That's what happens.
So your kind of passion or mission you're on right now is like just the connectivity within Brookhaven.
So one thing that I realized I had to do is I had to understand, because I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I wanted. So I really just went out and I think I had 1,700 individual conversations that first campaign. So I really figured out what people cared about and what's really important. And it kind of gave me a sense of what's important for us as here. So it's the same three things as before, right? Green space, connectivity, and stormwater infrastructure, basically our infrastructure. So those are the three things that I've focused on 10 years ago, and these are still the three things that we focus on today.
On the stormwater, the infrastructure, like all the underground work that's like
Right? It's stuff
incredibly hard to get done, incredibly hard to maintain.
you got to dig a lot of stuff up. When we took over stormwater from DeKalb County, they said, okay, give us all your maps, everything. Basically had it as a claim deed that says you own it. So we spent first 5 years mapping every culvert, every pipe, it's called the MS4 permits. And then after that, and then of course we started collecting stormwater, started doing drainage projects, and did a couple of $10 million worth of projects.
And does Dunwoody or Chamblee and Doraville, do they own their stormwater, or is that unique for
I
Brookhaven?
think they've started to take it over. I think Chamblee recently.
Okay. So you were one of the first cities to take over stormwater?
I think so, yeah. Because within a year of us becoming a city, it just became rampant. Because we built so much so fast. You go from 15, 20% coverage to maximum 35 and 40 for 10 houses in a row. There's no way around it. You're gonna flood. So you gotta
The water has to go somewhere.
Yeah, it's gotta go somewhere. So we did several projects that multi-phase projects, and I think the cheapest one was $5 million.
Wow. So where does all the water go now?
Right, so at Peachtree Creek.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of had a two-pronged approach. We buy lots in floodplains and basically stormwater kind of basins and then slow them down.
Yeah.
And then we just basically build bigger pipes and bigger booms, kind of just direct them.
And you started that from first year on city council all the way through now. It's like a never-ending.
That was my passion. Yeah. Because literally, I would go to people's doors and they would start crying because I just feel like DeKalb has abandoned me. Anything in my house is flooding.
Yeah.
And it became a priority. So against it.
That's yeah.
You heard of Brian Mock's basement. Brian Mock's living room flooded during the last storm. The street that used to flood down the street for me, like every time there was even 2 inches of rain.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
That's definitely good for all the people that are there.
Yeah.
So from start to finish, you're like, okay, we want to improve one area. How long is that going to take to even come up with that engineering? Or it took 5 years just to map out where to start with?
It took 5 years. Typically, we'll identify basically basins. Like we do basin studies and we just kind of triage them, and we just do them one at a time. And for each one, it's generally we stagger them, but it's generally a 5-year process from engineering to identifying multiple phases 2 or 3 phases per project, right? And then when you're done with all the phases, no more flooding.
No. How much of that have you brought into the city team and the city personnel? Because when Brookhaven started, they have no one. They start with the city with 0. And they got to add, how do we take it? Now we own all the city infrastructure we got a claim deed for. And how do we maintain that?
I just hire people that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And give them the resources they need. I don't like to brag about it, but our property taxes are millage rate and our valuation is frozen. I'm sure other cities have that too.
Yeah.
Your property values go up, your county taxes go up, your school taxes go up, city taxes are frozen, right? But our stormwater fee is an enterprise fund. So people know you pay this fee, which when we first became a city was $55. But it goes to fixing plumbing. So people are happy with it. So when we raise it to, 90, then 120, then 142, we don't get any complaints because it's fixing the problem.
Yeah, and they can see exactly where it's going.
Right.
That's pretty good. Or do you use any of that land? So you mentioned you're buying vacant lots or buy the stuff. Does any of that get then added into the connectivity projects of how do we make better paths and bike lanes and walking?
Yes, the Peace Creek Greenway is a perfect example. So that's one big floodplain, it's along the creek.
Yeah.
It's built to flood. Every time it rains hard, we close it. And it's engineered so that we just we bought a street sweeper, a smaller one, just cleans the path every time. And so we also have actually part of our connectivity plan we inherited from the Path Foundation. CAB did it 2 decades ago. A lot of those paths run along streams. And so we planned for that and we built some, but it's going to be a lot of doing too.
How often are you trying to buy new land and buy new space?
We're more opportunistic about it. So we just look for property. We just look for word's gotten out. Word's got out. If you want a plain property or you want to get rid of a property quick, go to the city, see if they're interested. And sometimes we are, and sometimes not. Depends. Really, is a property close to a school or a park? Is a property? We have a master plan or master goal that we want everyone in Brookhaven to be within a 10-minute walk of a public green space. And we actually have a map, a GIS map, which has a little sliding screen. What it was like 10 years ago, what it was like today, and like how much that zone of 10-minute walkability is expanded. And so our goal is for that sliding little map to be completely green, not have these deserts of too long of a walk.
That's really cool. What do you know? What the percentage of people that live in that 10-minute area, or is that how you measure it, or is it you're just looking at the chart?
I think about it visually. I don't know the number, but when I think about it visually, we probably went from about 40% to about 65, 70% last 10 years.
Yeah.
So the quote national average of parks per population is about 8 acres per 1,000 residents. When we became a city, I think it was like under 5, and now we're about 6, somewhere between 6 and 7 acres per 1,000 residents. So we're getting there.
Very cool.
What's the largest park in Brookhaven? The Blackburn or?
It's Murphy Candler. Murphy Candler Park. It's about 40, I think it's actually 50 something acres.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's got a lake, so.
Yeah, the lake is, yeah.
I was thinking about the green space, but Brookhaven is also unique too because, like for example, Dunwoody and Chambly have a big business sector. Comparatively to Chambly, Doraville, or Dunwoody, or Sandy Springs, would you consider Brookhaven more residential versus because I don't think there's a big business sector other than what's in Peachtree Industrial? Or
we actually, funny story actually, Dunwoody wanted perimeter center south of 285. Brad Millar,
yeah.
actually told Dunwoody, don't take that. Don't annex that or don't make it a part of your city, because I know there are people in quote, I don't know, it's going to be Ashford or Brookhaven, whatever back then, they need enough commercial property to be sustainable. So our main area is obviously Town Brookhaven, Dresden, along Peachtree. Then that perimeter center over by Villa Christina, that part of that perimeter area, or the PCID, that's a huge part of our commercial tax base.
Yeah, town Brookhaven is like over the past 10 years, it's exploded.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I mean, when they added, they added a ton of commercial. They added, but there's also multifamily development that's all right there too.
And that's is that where the Brookhaven Bolt starts? That's the, what road is that?
That's on Dresden.
Dresden, yeah.
Dresden is the more, I consider Dresden the hard up kit, right? It's where you have the better restaurants, it's more walkable. And when I say walkable, I don't mean like, you have a little yard next to the parking lot where you can walk around. It's actually, you can walk through it and get to other parts of it, right?
Yeah.
Sidewalks and multi-use paths that connect residents to the developments on Dresden. So I guess it's just cool. You have a new development going in that's opening pretty soon, Dresden Village. Partner with them to create a pocket park there on land that can't be, well, I guess you could, you just have to, they got all the toxic stuff from the dry cleaners, right? Because it was an old dry cleaners. No one wants to dig it up. So we just said, cap it. And then it's a green space.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to have, concerts and stuff next to the ice cream shop.
Very
Nice.
So when anyone's doing any kind of development, are you always trying to work with the city to like, hey, how can we connect this
right
to add to that 10-minute walkability for everything that happens?
There's a requirement, right, for green space, particularly in all the PR zones, the Peachtree Road zones, so PR1, PR2, and that's the old DeKalb County overlay, right, overlay zone. And so in those areas, there's specific zoning. It's got to be facing, right? You have to have multi connectivity built into it. You have to have streetscapes. You have to have, a certain section of space. You can't just say, hey, here's this landscape strip to the sidewalk that doesn't count anymore. You used to, but not anymore. We actually have examples of like courtyards, it has to be a certain contiguous, percentage wise it's less, but like if you were a master developer and you wanted to build on the back of the Marta lot, I think it's like 11 acres or something like that. You're required to have at least a half a soccer field size street space contiguous on that property if you were to develop it. So things like that, basic what they teach you in municipal school, like where you go to Savannah and you hang out and then these classes teach you, you got 4 stories, 5 stories, green space and connectivity and livability and all the buzzwords. But it's really just about, hey, do you want to like have cool places for you? That's what we think about when we basically allow developers to come in and build things.
Right. So property taxes are fixed, though.
Valuation is fixed.
Valuation. Okay, but so the millage rate can go up and down, or
it can, but we generally like to keep it steady. Yeah.
You're able to keep the budget in check and operate and all that stuff.
For now, yeah.
Yeah.
But as prices, as costs increase, we'll see what happens.
And your police force, their salaries are, I know.
Yeah, I got a lot of dirty looks from a lot of other mayors and council members who, after we were one of the first cities to give everyone a 20% pay raise across the board 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so because we were just, every police force was having trouble recruiting. So we basically we set the standard on salaries. We give police a bonus if they live in the city, right? Because they all have take-home cars. So you know what? On your way home, stop by and catch some porch pirates or something.
Right.
Or your car when you're at home, you go to any of the various apartment complexes, Brookhaven, and there's a police car in the parking lot. Guy's home. Police officer's home. Car's there.
Yeah.
Or if there's an emergency, he's right there. In there.
Yeah. So the police officers, they get to take the car with them, right? So that's what I mean by there, and then they get a bonus that they're basically living in Brookhaven as well.
So they get a rent subsidy.
They get a discount at Costco.
You know what?
That would be the real kicker if you can tie in the Costco.
I would be a police officer if I would have Costco.
I mean, talking about like town Brookhaven, like that monster development, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And all the anchor, like, tell us about how, were you part of putting that together on council, obviously?
So Town Brookhaven actually happened before
Okay.
Brookhaven. And one thing that, actually a problem that we're having is all the tax abatements expired.
That's a problem when the tax abatements expire.
It is because now for one reason or another, they're charging higher rents. Some of the mom and pop restaurants are getting squeezed out.
I got it. Okay.
It's not going to hurt Costco or
Right.
Marshalls.
Thank God.
You know,
You're the Marshalls, right?
No, I was in Costco. Costco.
you know, like Hefe's, you know, shut down because the rents were too high, and then the chain came in that could be a kid. So there's still a couple of, you know, Bill Brown out there. He's a neighborhood guy. He still has his bar. It's great, but yeah, we definitely like to look the flavor and try to do whatever we can to encourage it.
We operate a bunch of real estate and all over the state, and operating costs have kind of just been, there's nothing really you can do about it right now, but like they've been creeping up definitely after COVID, and then it just kind of just kept going. But I imagine the cities face the same things. Everyone's facing that right now.
Yeah, costs are rising.
Is there anything on the city side? Like, how do you balance your budget plan every year of saying like, what estimates are we going to use going forwards, or how is there, like on the operating side, on our side, we always look at like, what do we need to do with rents to counter what's going to happen on the expense side? But
so that's why we implemented the SST. So special services. So Dunwoody has a PCID, and so CIDs typically get their businesses. The only difference between a CID and SST is the SST is not voluntary. So the commercial properties have an extra assessment that's helped us cover mainly our infrastructure costs, a lot of our infrastructure projects, and it was also the mechanism by which we use to build our city center. So basically, our city hall, kind of that catalyst for the development to start our city center at the MARTA station. So, and Brookhaven is not like a Decatur with a defined city center, right? You don't have so we have these kind of city villages like nodes. So you have down Brookhaven, and just down the street you have Dresden, and then you have like the new where the CNS Oyster.
Oh yeah, yep,
over there. And so our plan is to kind of develop those little villages and then connect, right? So we have part of our master connectivity plan is to have a pedestrian bridge across from Apple Valley to Brookhaven, and then you have a multi-use path that goes down Apple Valley to Dresden, and then you're going to connect to the MARTA lot, and then eventually a pedestrian bridge over Peace Street to that side of Peace Street.
So there's a big development right now at the MARTA station that I've noticed. So that
is our city center. So it's going to be a public like event space and our city hall. That's what my office will be.
That's for your new office.
So you're removing all the parking, or I guess you'll still need parking for the city center, but
right. So the back parking lot will still be there.
Okay.
We have underground parking.
Very
Center long-term parking is going away.
And was that a MARTA land that you negotiated with, or how did that happen?
If we were to buy the land, MARTA would have to give that money back to the federal government. So what we did is a 50-year lease, and at the end of the 50-year lease, we have an option to buy for $10.
Oh, okay.
So I told our city manager, find a $10 bill, put it in it, frame it, put it somewhere, and say break on this date and give it to MARTA to buy.
yeah.
From MARTA.
If you put it in crypto, it might be worth more. Just an idea.
Or it could be worth zero.
Just an idea. It could be worth $100,000 or $1 million.
Yeah. So as mayor, so you've been in for a year, right? So you city council for 9 years. You've been mayor now. What's kind of your routine of how much time you're spending in like Brookhaven versus do you have to travel as mayor or do other functions as well?
So one of the, I guess it was a benefit for me. There was a lot of attention because I was the first Asian American mayor in Georgia. So and the Korean American community is very proud to have, to basically say, okay, we made it. We now have a mayor. So I'm not only the mayor of Brookhaven, a lot of them consider me the
Yeah.
And so I get invited to all the various, the Korean Special Olympics, or I'm just trying to think of the most random thing.
Yeah.
But everywhere they have.
Yeah. And it's just a lot of events. Now, as far as the governance aspect of the job, it is more than being on the council, because rather than voting on things, reviewing the agenda, I'm actually setting the right. But I get invited to a lot of things where they just they want to bring all the stakeholders, consider mayors stakeholders right throughout the country, and just really just they want to educate us, they want to talk to us, they want and really just get together and lobby.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that. So it's just a lot of events,
So, I was just thinking about this as an elected official. You're, you have a lot to manage. So you actually do have a full-time job still that you work at.
Yes.
And you have almost I guess you'd call it a part-time job as mayor. So how do you manage the logistics of your life and making it all work at one time? And you're married.
Yeah.
And you're also a foster dog dad.
Yeah.
So how do you fit it all in?
So my parents live with me, so they manage a lot of the household stuff, and I can only do this because I work from home, right? So and because I'm in consulting and a lot of work with different agencies, the work that I do I manage my schedule, right? So some of my day is actually like, heads down writing something or writing code or doing a plan or something like that. Sometimes it's just meetings and having checkpoints and planning meetings and things like that at my day job. And so I kind of space them out, and then so I'll block my calendars, and then I'll come do something like this during the day. Go back to my day job, and then sometimes on some weeks, if my schedule gets a little full, I may have to do some of that development work in the so really the short of it is I don't really have.
You're very busy. So your free time is being mayor or working in your job or sleeping is
Or sleeping or playing team trivia, or I do that every once in a while.
Do you have a specific category of trivia you like?
It's
Like you're a pop culture guy, a science guy, historic.
history.
Okay.
Some science, it's just and also trying to get into the head of the guy that's writing the question.
Yeah.
Recognizing patterns.
Yep.
I always ask an Oscar question at certain periods, and I've noticed that if you watch TNT and watch those movies that play over and over again, he's probably going to ask a question.
So a couple things before
So you prep for trivia.
I just realized, do you allocate your Tiki Hut time as non-negotiable? So you always have that on your calendar?
And I think that's one of the things that kind of keep me sane.
Your Tiki Hut time.
I have certain social things that I do. Monday nights is Tuesday nights is trivia after council.
57th Fighter Squadron trivia or no?
Bat and or ball.
Bat and or ball. Okay.
So those are the things I do, and then I have my downtime and I take a lot of meetings on weekends. Citizen wants to meet with me. They're busy too. So, hey, let's just grab breakfast or something on a Saturday or something. So it's really just a lot of just interaction. It can get a little fatiguing sometimes, but to me, it's not like it doesn't really stress me out. Like, I don't get all agitated about it. It's just
well, as a mayor, you have to actually want to do the job. You don't just do this for the money, because I'm assuming there's not very much money there. It probably cost you money to do the job.
Well, actually, no, we did get a raise.
You got a raise. Okay, can I ask how much you make, or is that
sure? So when we became a city, the mayor was paid $16,000, and actually the Social Justice Race and Equity Commission said, you know what, only like lawyers or retirees could do this job. Right. So they said you need to pay the mayor and council just enough that if they were like if they were a waiter or a teacher, that it would be enough of augmentation to, for a typical person that may do 2 or 3 jobs, this could be one of the jobs, right? And so, well, okay, so we raised it to $36,000 for council members and $46,000.
Still not a not
livable for Brookhaven.
No,
not livable for a college graduate either, or college graduates are making 50 to 80.
What is the term for the council members? How-
4 years.
4 years.
All the offices.
Does it
It's staggers.
overlap with the?
Yeah.
Oh, it staggers.
So District 1, 3, and the mayor are elected last year, and Districts 2 and 4 will have election next year.
And how? So all those meetings, everything you guys do is public, right? And
Yeah.
you can come to all that stuff
In fact, we're not allowed to meet
without.
we cannot meet in public without notice.
Yeah.
I mean, now, of course, there are some exceptions, ribbon cuttings, Georgia Municipal Association.
What if like 3 are in the grocery store? It's like, oh crap, someone's got to run away.
Technically, you have to not talk city business.
Okay.
Like, and we generally shy away from being seen in public together, unless it's an event or something. Just because it's
Yeah.
even if you're not talking city business, you don't want to make it look like all decisions are already made.
Right.
Yeah.
So one thing we were talking about earlier was annexation of land and how that happens.
That's right. You guys have an army to annex land. Is that what's happening right now?
People want to come into Brookhaven. They kind of like lower taxes and response times from the police. Yeah, they kind of like it when we actually build something.
Oh, I would hate that. I want 15-minute response time with police for police.
We actually have negative response times. This is how we do it. So we have live 911. So we're very focused on technology. So it's these like drones, cameras. Block cameras now have gunshot detection technology.
Is that throughout the whole city, the flock system?
At all our major points of entry. And so we have live 911. So when you call 911, it's geocoded and the officer in the area will automatically get the feed. Now they can't talk to the person.
Oh, they hear the feed in the car. Oh, wow.
So they'll hear the person saying, I'm at this address, this is happening, yada, yada, yada. And the police officers will show up before the call is actually finished with 911. So that's
That's on cool.
That's pretty neat.
Is that unique to Brookhaven or like other local police departments?
I think we were the first in Georgia to adopt it. I'm sure others will start doing it because it makes sense.
Is that run out of like a command center to make that happen, or is that a software service?
Yeah. So Chatcom, Chattahoochee Communications is the contractor that runs for Brookhaven, Sandy Springs, I think Dunwoody, a couple of other cities. They'll, the more they expand, the better it is for us because then we have a bigger network, right?
Wow. I didn't know the gunshot detectors actually made it all the way to Brookhaven because I thought that was more of a city of Atlanta thing.
It's brand new.
Okay.
It's less than a year. Actually.
Have you had to test it yet? Or
yeah, we found a guy.
Oh, you found a guy. And what kind of radius do you actually get the gunshot into?
It's not that big. It's wherever the cameras are, and I think it's a few hundred yards. Yeah.
A few hundred yards. Okay.
Is that through the flock system that has it?
It's a flock system.
Yeah. That thing's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
When I read about it, it's a pretty amazing system that they could actually detect the gunshot when
and triangulate it based on the sounds.
That's crazy. That's crazy technology.
And in our LPR license plate readers, it literally, if you heard it ding like every 5 minutes, right? Some guy that's stolen cars, arrest warrants, all kinds of for the minor ones, we just don't have the manpower.
I mean, with Peachtree Industrial running through the city, you're going to you're going to see everything.
Bad license plates that you can't do anything with because just the capacity.
Like expired tags.
Who cares?
Suspend the license. I mean, I guess technically.
Also, they're driving down a main road. They could be in it. They could. Yeah.
So a lot of times we'll have a stolen car or a serious felony, right? And flock will catch it. We'll get the car description and just kind of watch them, and then until they park at the gas station or something. CVS, we get a lot of arrests at CVS for some reason. I guess criminals like to stop at CVS.
Well, it's Robitussin.
We were just talking earlier, like the struggles of those pharmacy branches, but maybe that's why if all their customers are getting arrested.
Yeah,
and they can't buy anything.
Yeah, well, just a quick side note, my father was great at being armed robbed when he had his pharmacy. And so he was armed robbed, he was held at gunpoint multiple times. And there's a newspaper article sitting on the internet someplace where he actually got really mad once and he chased somebody out of his pharmacy with a gun and shot at their car as they were running away. And he made the newspaper.
That's pretty
good.
Because
he got so pissed off at people armed robbing.
Yeah. It's wild.
I'll show you the newspaper article one day.
Yeah, so we surround them, we send them the drone, and they run, we can track them and catch them.
Is the drone automated or is someone flying it?
There's a guy that flies it.
Police officer or someone?
Does he have the? Oh, it's a police officer.
Yeah, it has to be a plus.
Is he focused? Is he just the drone pilot?
He's just a drone pilot.
Can I volunteer for that job?
Yeah, I want to help him one day.
Can there be a ride along with that?
Yeah.
I want to fly it first. I call dibs.
It should be awesome if the drone had one of those like release nets that would like fly out with like the balls on the end and like wrap around his legs.
Well, what about missiles? Missiles.
It'd be so awesome.
I don't think it's a little kid's toy. It's like they bought this at Target off the shelf with little nets on it and stuff. So they can it cover all of Brookhaven?
Not all of Brookhaven because near the airport, there are certain flight zones.
Don't say where it doesn't cover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody
knows. It covers everything.
Be public, yes.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, though, but I mean that's
Yeah, so we have 2 high buildings that we deploy them from.
yeah.
Pretty much anywhere Brookhaven be there, just a couple of zones.
That's really.
That is a really
So you want to move to the fun stuff now?
I think that sounds like an awesome job.
I think so too. I want to go fly it, and I want to.
They're probably just
Outfit it with stuff like that. Net, some like.
not gonna let you do that.
We won't tell them. We'll just do it.
Maybe do like a light show like they do at the football games with the drones. Yeah, when they're not in commission. Yeah,
When they're not looking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we use it to find lost parents at like something like the Cherry Blossom.
Oh, cherry blossom. Is that
We have like 20,000 people there. Kids lose their parents.
Yeah.
So like find them, so we find them.
so?
So is it? So it's not lost kids anymore. It's lost parents.
Yeah. Kids are fine.
Kids are fine. The kids find the police officers. The parents are the ones that are actually lost.
Parents are hysterical, crying. Where's my kid? And the kid's just sitting there
Or not,
watching.
they're just having a great time at the Cherry Blossom Festival.
Yeah, they're eating a popsicle because someone bought them a popsicle. So what is the Cherry Blossom Festival? What is that? 20
It's
kids?
our signature event that we have every year that we started actually just 2 years into the city. And really it's just a big event. We wanted something that put us on the map. So the previous mayor, his kid plays soccer with the kid whose father is a big shot at Live Nation. And so kind of look for bands that are going to be in the area and they get big names. And this year we're getting Boyz II Men and OER.
Nice.
Isn't that your? That's your demographic, isn't it?
And there you go.
Both those are awesome.
Yes.
If they play Crazy Game of Poker, like greatest song ever in college.
I do.
It's like a 9-minute long song.
Memory. I do remember.
Yeah. It's an amazing song.
But it's a free show and it's for the entire community. And really, one, it brings the community together. Number two, it adds to the Brookhaven. Oh, Brookhaven. Oh, yeah, you're the city with the awesome bands. Right? Yeah, every year, like last year, 1 year we had Smash Mouth. We had Rick Springfield. And we had Life for Fighting, Wallflowers. Bare Naked Ladies was last year.
That's a fun one.
So we have a lot of great bands, and actually now, before it was kind of hard to recruit bands to come. Because it's just already some podunk town.
Right. But now you have
now it's like we actually have like Sheryl Crow actually called us. Yeah, Cherry Blossom Festival.
That's huge.
Okay, we can't afford you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, she wanted to be paid. She wasn't.
Yeah. She wasn't going to do it for free.
Okay, so Josh, to be clear, you can go with your 4 boys, but they will find you when you try to lose your 4 boys.
I'll be on stage with Boyz II Men.
to try to become the lost parent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you'll try really hard to become the lost parent.
And some of the the bands, some of them love it. They'll bring people onto stage. And Rick Springfield during COVID, right, put on a full whatever the PPE, mask and whatever suit, and he crowd surfed the crowd.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, he for real. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't Rick Springfield like 100 years old by now? Well, isn't he?
He still has ladies that fly from California to see him, though.
Oh my God! Because I think he was like, okay,
Yeah.
age myself, but he was.
What are they called? The Stringies or the Keys? The ladies that travel to see him.
Yeah. I don't know. Committed. It's commitment, though.
Yeah.
So a little personal secret on myself. I always wanted to be in the Boyz II Men band.
Oh boy, here it goes.
I wanted to be the baritone guy that just, the guy that kind of talked at the end, like, hey, baby. Like, I wanted to be that guy. But yeah,
Well, they'll be there.
I found real estate instead and it's kind of worked out.
You still got like another 40 years. I mean,
There's time.
probably perform forever.
Yeah.
So
This might be my breakout opportunity if I get on stage with these guys.
speaking of unexpected talents of Josh, like wanting to be part of Boys to Men, do you have any unexpected talents or any talents you want to of interest that we would not expect?
I'm the goalkeeper for a over 40 7-a-side soccer team,
Okay.
and we just won the championship.
All
Nice.
right, nice, good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Very
That's
cool.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You played soccer your whole life?
pretty much. Yeah, I'm too old to play on the field now. So.
Do you dive for the ball? Like leave the ground and like shoot for it.
Only if it's a close game.
Okay. About to say like that's a risk.
I usually don't. I'm usually like,
Whatever. Like,
And supposedly with soccer, like if somebody hits you, you're supposed to fall down and like say how much they hurt you. Do you do that too?
that's just Europeans.
Oh, it's just Europeans. Okay, not you. Okay.
yeah. In America, we don't do that.
Oh, just okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Tough.
I was confusing soccer leagues.
We're not French.
So what's the most fun thing you do in Brookhaven?
Most fun thing I do in Brookhaven. Oh, that's it. So much fun
So
stuff.
the tiki, that sounds pretty fun.
I want to go to the Tiki Hut.
Yeah.
Patio life on Brookhaven.
Oh, it's strong on Dresden. Yeah, there's a lot of patios.
And just sit on the patio and just relax.
Yeah. What's the place that we had the Greenleaf event at many times over in on Dresden?
The corner one.
It used to be Kaleidoscope.
Yes, it was called.
Unfortunately, Joey sold that, and he's gonna. Unfortunately, I'm still mad at Chambly. Mad at both of them. He's gonna reopen in Chambly.
Oh
And,
man.
You know, we have 5 new restaurants coming in on Dresden Village.
Do you know what's
Changes-
taking? You know what's saying that corner spot?
Porterhouse Grill, the guy from Athens, opened up a steak restaurant.
Oh, it's great. Okay.
Can't you just yank his business permit and not give it back or something and say you can't open any place else? You can't do that?
It's kind of like when they one of the things that I do the most is tell people how a little power I actually have. And it's like, can't you do this or can't you do that? And I'm like, can't you tell the police to give that guy a ticket or something like that? And I said, no, I can't. You know what? Because if the mayor and the politicians control the police, you know what that's called? It's called a police state.
Exactly what it's called.
So if someone was coming to Brookhaven for one day, what would you tell them to do?
I would say, well, first, take a nice walk, either in the Ashford Forest Preserve, a 30-acre green space, or Monkey Canyon Park. There's a mile-and-a-half loop there that's completely in the forest, or on the lake. Relax, get your exercise, then go to one of our fine restaurants, whether it's on Dresden or Brookhaven, and then just enjoy patio life somewhat. That's what I would say.
Shop at Costco, maybe.
Of course, you got to go to Costco. Yeah.
Like maybe buy a 100-inch TV at Costco.
Apparently, that's the cool Costco.
To buy 100.
No, actually, Peachtree Dunwoody Costco, I think, is cooler than the Brookhaven Costco. Sorry. Or the Sandy Springs Costco.
Only
Brookhaven guy.
because they have a liquor.
Oh, that's right. You don't have a liquor store.
I'm so a Brookhaven guy.
And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
They're equidistant for me. I go to Brookhaven all
okay.
the time.
Just in all fairness, I go to Peachtree Dunwoody Costco because, I know where things are. I don't know where things are in the Brookhaven Costco, just to be fair.
I don't know where things are. They keep me thinking.
And the Brookhaven Costco? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And, okay, here's one too. Do you have a key to the city?
We don't do keys in Brookhaven.
Well, we that's what you're supposed to
It's
give us.
switch pads.
You're supposed to give us a
They're
key.
modern.
No,
Oh, so you got like a
we don't give keys.
It's NFC on your phone.
Give the Brookhaven obelisk. If you ever, in the main roads, there's the Brookhaven sign that's an obelisk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have a kind of it's about this tall.
Yeah.
That's what we give.
Yeah.
Rather than keys.
but just I'm assuming you've seen the Dunwoody
Better than
signs.
a key.
now. The Dunwoody signs are kicking Brookhaven signs butt right now, aren't they?
The Dunwoody's.
Oh yeah, it's a big thing. You've seen the Dunwoody sign at Chimbley Dunwoody and
This is like a TikTok dance.
It's like it's 50 feet wide.
Okay.
Oh, you haven't seen this sign?
I haven't-
Oh, you've missed all the controversy of
Maybe
the Dunwoody
they'll
sign.
just annex that with the Brookhaven. That'll be their sign.
So yeah, the Brookhaven Army. I don't know if Dunwoody has an army. How big is Brookhaven's army, by the way, for all this annexation you've done?
It's like Taylor Swift's army.
Taylor Swift's army?
It's really tough.
People sign an affidavit saying I want to come into Brookhaven, and we say, okay, enough people signed it. Okay, you're in Brookhaven.
Oh, so it's not like an armed annexation. It's just a voluntary annexation. Okay, got it. Understood. All right. Thank you for that. I just wanted to clarify that.
So on the park front and the connectivity of all this stuff, are there any new parks in the works?
So we just bought Morrison Farms over on next to Windsor and Osborne, and I think that's about 10 acres. It's an old farm, and we don't have any money to do anything. So it's
In the works.
just there, and you can walk your dog.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we bought the Park Ridge Preserve over in National Park. We bought some FEMA lots. Bought them out. It's probably about 4 or 5 acres of just open space.
FEMA lots?
So lots that are prone to flooding.
Yeah.
They had to have flood insurance.
And they're not buildable lots. Okay.
Well, you couldn't build a new structure. You could only renovate.
Okay.
So we just buy them out, tear them down, and
In green space.
preservable water, have green space, and so we have a lot of those. And we're always looking for opportunities.
Cool.
And we'll buy lots adjacent to parks. So Linwood Park, we bought a house next to it on Divine Circle. That'll kind of extend the plots a little bit.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Well, we really appreciate the time.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We're gonna go to Brookhaven, look for the parrot, go to Costco.
Tiki Hut.
So the parrot is the key.
It's a key to Tiki Hut.
Okay.
The Tiki Hut's still a secret. We have to find the parrot first.
By the parrot. You got the road name?
It's like a treasure.
Okay. The road name will be on the. Okay.
If we can break into the Tiki Hut doing an obelisk to celebrate our accomplishment.
No, but I'm sure there's a bottle of limoncello.
There we go. Okay.
All right.
Waiting for us.
I'm sure some of the liquor that I brought over there is still there.
Yeah. If you say Tiki Hut and liquor, or especially hams, Dave will find it. So just so you know. Yes.
Well, all right. Well, thank you very much for the time today. We appreciate it. Thank you.